Coming in from the backside, as is often a deliciously sly and sticky sweet move upon opening the front door, the Silentist has a nearly 4-decade history of being the guy at any human death ritual. Pine box in the mud for the possibly still alive, a giant furnace for the if the crummy in-laws just want to sift through the dust as quickly as possible for any surviving valuable compounds they can claim rights to, flaming pyres on the banks of the Ganges so as to smell Ganges fresh the first time Vishnu splits your wings from your legs, or even at a good old-fashioned Irish wake for old Finnegan with lots of below window line dancing, the inevitable desecration and draining of the Finnegan 5 barrels, 5 of the best charred barrels from before Athelstan, filled with the very elixir for which all whiskey has since taken its identity from. At these and countless other gatherings, to identify one less competitor still on the field while doing our best to maintain our exuberance at it being the poor sod with the vicar's poor shovelful of sod just having been tossed, rather than us just being tapped from inside, the soundproof casket slowly disappearing neath shovels full of sod until the post-burial burning, mummying, partying may begin. Yes, the Silentist is always the first and usually only the one at every fucking death party to hear these words. Damn, how is it that you are still alive and they're dead? You get used to it when 5 of your immortal bent halo boys were left for dead on the cold slabs of the morgue within less than 7 years of one another, as we all hovered around the age of 40 successful solar orbits, and those 5 bent halo boys were undeniably the best before all the rest. We had all known who was what and what was who for many seasons by then, as the team of miscreants, outlaws, bandits, badasses, originators, imaginators, and thieves, that it wasn't decided of whom were the best and of whom were the rest. We all knew it instinctively within minutes of being licensed as the official AAA chapter club for the Devil's Pawn Shop. The Silentist, though unpredictable and deviant, has known we are of the rest since before the lingering of days. So we even proffered the same inquiry to the appropriate department as to why some of the best to have been were now being turned to glue, while the notoriously destructive, shiftless, degenerate, foolish madman known as the Silentist is still able to be. Strange and cruel world your pawn ticket gets you into is all we can figure. We have quickly just recalled 7 different humans approaching at 8 different death parties and putting that exact question to the Silentist, some with clear disdain and bitter regret that the Silentist lives and the best and the better do not. Others with no idea of who is the Silentist and who they were or might become, and yet are so full of bitter rage that it is not I, the Silentist, that lies cold as a dead man in the drawer of a county morgue somewhere. Those have been, we must admit, a tad unseemly at times. To have a complete stranger approach you at the family funeral of your esteemed brother-turned-stool pigeon, mud-turned-glue, defiantly ask everyone there to see the last drop of glue that had been her esteemed brother. Why, a sordid evil of agency, perhaps working for headquarters? How can that be, as the living sanity can be while using a few drops of her esteemed brother to fix a graphic portrayal of Sumerian sex games over the face of her esteemed brother on his headstone. No, that must be the work of sanity, not headquarters. As to domestic difficulties, I find myself and everyone at headquarters unable to feel a thing. We are beyond feeling emotions of any kind as to your suffering, for the simple reason that we live it day in, night out. Due to the serious mental instability woven through a thought unit that somehow slipped through inspection before being crudely programmed and put in headquarters, dispose of at once vault, but then stolen by those assholes from Sanity, the scientist has maintained a Hinky-like optimism amongst all of Eugene O'Neill's hapless AA recruits, wasting their lives passively as they wait for their Iceman to cometh. We have more in common with you and them than is polite to write about in such a casual and brief medium as this. Your goddamn life, this life ain't easy. And you're also dead on in using the word mess rather than those fucking Christo-Islamic Judeo-Bodhisattvas who use bless when it is in fact mess that they will have to reckon with sooner, later, or right fucking now for some of them. We fear that sharing online the personal details of silence will further taint what is already cavity tasting milk. We are not of them. The scientist does feel somewhat certain about this, that in today's parlance, the term troll is used both as verb and noun. Peanuts are better. So, if you can hear the color of wind sprinkled in the backside of your death dream, it may not be time to go.